Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Brian with us. Brian is a leadership coach. Brian, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Kevin. Thank you.
So, Brian, let's start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, I'm a leadership coach, an executive coach. I help executives take their performance to the next level. So CFOs, CEOs, other people who manage teams, I help them in their leadership growth challenges, where they might be stuck, what they're trying to achieve. It might be change management. There's a lot of things going on. Leadership positions are more and more lonely and more complicated, and yeah, so I help them get through what they're looking to get through.
So, Brian, in my life, I've seen friends get promoted into CEO, CFO positions. And in some cases, it hasn't worked out well because, they liked being an accountant. And now all of a sudden they have to oversee people, or they do okay at first, and then all of a sudden the company grows and they went from five and managing five people to managing 100 people, and they can't do it anymore because they don't have the skill set. Is that where you kind of come in to teach them, okay, this is how you manage 100 people?
Yeah, exactly. That's a typical situation. I mean, we've all done it, right? We've all sort of been thrown into management. There really isn't at most companies a real training program, if it's anything at all, maybe a couple of classes. So really kind of developing from a doer into a manager and a leader is kind of we're kind of on our own. And that's where really I tend to spend a lot of time is either new people new to leadership positions or entrepreneurs that are building businesses that are now sizable enough to have teams and need to really enhance that leadership skill. And to me, it's really a lot of times it's about letting go and finding a new way to get things done through your team versus on your own and through your own sort of capabilities. And that's a big challenge.
Yeah, I've seen that, with a friend. He didn't really have a big company, but he was, worked by himself. And then he had 7 or 8 employees. And he's done this at least 3 times. And then I see him again and he's back to by himself because he's like, I just don't know how to manage people, put, processes into place, and learning sometimes to let go because, it's your baby, you're like, oh, I have to do it all myself, Brian. I can't delegate out, but if you can't put the process in place, it's only a matter of time before things go bad for you, right?
That's right. Yeah, you really have to learn a whole new set of skills that as I say, as you say, rely really on letting go. And I think that's a major thesis for me in my life and in my work, personally and professionally, is how do we let go of what we think is the right way to do something? Usually it's in our sort of most agitated state or frustrated state that we grip on even tighter. And then ironically, we have worse and worse performance. So finding new ways to get things done through your team, empowering your team, all those things that are involved in doing that are the new skills that leaders that are developing into this position for the first time potentially really need to learn how to rely on.
And it's really important to just take a step back and realize that everybody has a coach. You look at, any professional athlete, leaders, they all have coaches. So it's taking that step back and saying, this is a good thing for me if I go and hire Brian as a coach, because I can become a better CEO, better CFO. Some people are like, well, I don't want to say I need a coach, but every successful person has a coach, right?
Yeah, look at I mean, the top executives, virtually all of them have coaches, I'm sure. And I know many that do. And look at Tom Brady. I mean, arguably the most successful athlete ever has so many coaches and continually working on himself and getting better. And it's those small adjustments that you can only get with the coach. I think it's such a unique experience. I've always enjoyed coaching. I've always thought it was an investment in me. Now, maybe some of my CEOs wanted to fix me or change me, sure, but I always thought of it as, hey, this company is investing time and energy and money into me and my development, which is going to benefit the organization and my team. And yeah, exactly. It's that it's a third party. It's not your spouse. It's not your boss. It's confidential. It's someone who's supporting you, but also challenging you. It's a very unique experience. And I've always found it extremely valuable in my career. I call my coaches my secret weapon. And I love being other executives' secret weapon. It's I think it's an invaluable relationship.
So, Brian, how does the process work? How do people get in touch with you? How do you start working with someone? What's the first step?
Yeah, first step is a conversation. I have conversations with people all day long. But really, if you want to get started, it's a conversation about what you're trying to achieve. What are your goals? Maybe what's going on in the business, what's going on for you personally, and then we talk about a process. And I have a pretty standard process that I modify for people, but I use the GROW method, GROW, which is the standard set goals, talk about reality, discuss options and alternatives, and talk about the who, what, and where, which is the accountability. Like, what are you going to do, and can we follow up? And we use 360 to to get feedback on the leader and how they're showing up for others. I'm a Myers-Briggs certified practitioner, so I use MBTI to help people see how they might be showing up. And it's all about just discussing what's going on for you. What's happening for you right now, what's important for you, and then finding some insights into what alternatives can you put in play to help you perform, help you get through or get to that level that you're looking for. Really kind of helping you generate your own insights, Kevin, that are important to you. And my role as coach is to help facilitate that and follow through on that and help you create a plan to put those insights into action.
Right. That 360 review can be very interesting and sometimes humbling, where you may think, hey, this is my strength. But then when you get, the feedback from your employees, you realize, well, maybe I'm not the leader and supervisor, manager that I thought I was. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's hard for all of us. I mean, I still, even though I'm coach and I've had therapy and I've been coached before a lot, it's still hard to hear, especially again, it's kind of, to me, it comes back to attachments. If you're sort of thinking of yourself as I'm Kevin, I'm a great delegator. And then you hear someone say, he's terrible at delegating. It's really shocking and difficult to absorb. And at the same time, 360 feedback isn't perfect. We're not, all of us individuals are really not necessarily great at giving feedback. So you have to take it as an important guide, but you can't take it too personally and too
Mm.
deeply. And so I always say there's three stages of feedback. One is F you, that's not right. And then it's, oh, I suck. And then it's like, yeah, maybe I can do a little better here. Let's get on with some steps to improve. So it's tough. It is tough, and that's the hard part. Is really helping people understand that you're helping. You want to be trusted. You don't want people to react too negatively. You want them to take it on, but with a degree of understanding that it's not going to be impossible to make some adjustments. Yeah.
So, Brian, what's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can they learn more?
Yeah, visit my website, stoicexecutive.com. I'm on LinkedIn, at Brian Frohn, out there on LinkedIn doing videos and whatnot. So send me an email at brianfrohn@stoicexecutive.com. Any of those ways to get in touch. I'm glad to talk to new people for all different reasons, whether it's just getting to know each other, networking, or a discovery call, and kind of help people understand what they might expect to get, and whether or not we're a good fit to help each other.
Brian, I really appreciate you taking a couple minutes to come on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Great. Thank you, Kevin.